Yeah, but I could just wait for you to cut him because everybody else know that you can't trade for him.
It's business.
No, I'm just gonna wait you out.
Big business. It's big business.
If it's business, then y'all stupid as shit for cutting, not getting nothing for him.
You can't get nothing for him.
Nah, because
Not gonna get nothing
it's
for
too. Yeah, we lost all the equity.
Yeah. Like, why would I trade for that when I know you got a starting quarterback? There's two teams out there waiting for him. Jets. I mean, not the Jets. I'm sorry. The Giants and the Jaguars.
The Jaguars, Tennessee.
Hell no.
This is RadioOnFire.com. Yours truly, Dominic K, in here alongside Devin Epps.
I'm here,
What's
baby.
going on?
What's going on, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, you're sad. You're sad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes, I am.
It was going to happen, man. Okay.
Okay.
It's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, that is true.
We played hard. As you saw, he finally got it together towards the end.
Yeah.
But listen, it was going to happen.
All right. So
Look where we made it.
yeah, and that's what I wanted. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So the question is, should the Ravens have put Flacco in the game?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Why would you put? Okay, so off the bat, Joe had 11, 12 years to show what he was about and what he could do.
Right.
We saw it. We know what it is. We know what it was. He never looked like a world beater this year. Like, what game did you say that, damn, Joe is solidified? Like, can't nobody take Joe's spot. There was no game that year. This year. We played.
No.
We played 10 games, and we were 4-6. 4-5. I'm sorry. We played 9 games. We were 4-5. Joe had his opportunity.
Correct.
Just because it looked like this was a situation for Joe Flacco, it wasn't, because our offensive line was a goddamn screen door out there. I could have got past Hurst yesterday. Anybody could have got past Hurst, looked like. And then they took him out and put in Ogilvy or Ogletree, whoever the hell it was, and he got the same business. So the only person that could have helped in that situation was a mobile quarterback, because he had no pocket to sit in.
Yeah.
So you can see it was people falling in his lap the entire game.
Yeah.
When we tried to get any momentum, he was getting dragged down.
Yeah.
The same situations that Joe would not be able to get out of at all. At least
Correct.
he was able to you can see when the switch flipped for Lamar Jackson when he said, I'm going to have to do this by myself. I cannot trust this offensive line, because every time I try to sit back and let a route develop, I got somebody either tearing me down or knocking the ball out of my hand. So he had to scramble. He had to get out of the pocket. And the 2 plays that he made, he scrambled out of the pocket, got the ball to Crabtree. The last time on that third drive, when we needed to score, he tried to sit in that pocket and let the play develop, and look what happened to him.
And all Joe Flacco would have done was sit in the pocket and get sacked.
He would have done it. We would have lost, but we would have lost more unathletic.
We would have had 3 points.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
We would have had 3 points if Flacco had been in the
Lamar
game.
manufactured those 2 drives to get us that 14 points to put us in contention in that game.
Now the thing is that his playoff debut was a disaster.
Oh, it was. I fully blame every situation in that football game on Lamar Jackson. From start to finish, we were losing that game because of Lamar Jackson, and we almost won that game because of Lamar Jackson. And
now, why were we losing the game because of Lamar Jackson?
Because Lamar Jackson turned into what I used to call some of the receivers on my football team, we call them stones and butter. His hands were made of stones, and his fingers had butter all over him. He couldn't hold on to the ball at all. In any situation, he every time he went to drop back, it was either stripped out of his hands. He had a fumble. I believe he had 2. He had 2 fumbles that we actually recovered. Kenneth Dixon had a fumble. Ball security was the overall issue for the Baltimore Ravens the entire afternoon, for real. And it's the reason that they were able to build momentum. It's the reason that they were able to put those, they had 12 points in field goals, because they kept getting short fields because we kept turning the ball over or having to, put punts, because we couldn't put anything together offensively.
The play calling was horrible.
I don't think the play calling was horrible. I think that
they did not call plays based on his strengths.
Diamond, they called the same plays that they have been calling all throughout this winning streak. Just this is the second time we've seen the Chargers, and they changed their scheme. They made an adjustment.
They did make an adjustment.
They made a huge adjustment that we could not counter. They took those linemen off the field, and they put some D-backs out there. And so they gave 3 down linemen, or maybe 4 down linemen, and they had 5 D-backs out there. 7 defensive backs. So they had 3 down linemen and 7 defensive backs. That's what their 11 people look like. So everybody's off the line. Everybody's in coverage. And if you try to run, everybody's running downhill at the ball. So there's really nothing you can do with that until you get into some next level shit for your quarterback. We had a rookie quarterback out there. We did the best that we possibly could with a rookie quarterback. Now, we had a number 1 defense. Yes, I feel like the defense was wasted this year. We had the number 1 overall defense in the league.
It didn't look like that yesterday.
Yes, it did. If you look at that first, they held Phillip Rivers in the first half to 10 of 15 and 99 yards. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. 10 of 15 and 99 yards. The defense played out of their minds.
So you're saying the issue was offense?
The issue was the offense the entire game. Opportunity after opportunity was provided by that defense.
That's
Fumble
true.
recoveries,
That's
interceptions, short fields, punt blocks, field goal blocks. They did any and everything they possibly could do to put us in a winning situation. Now, that's why they feel like Joe could have won that game, because all you had to do at that point was manage it, was not lose it.
Right.
And Lamar, throughout the first half of that game, was losing it for us.
Well, I mean, there are going to be games where it's like that.
Yeah,
and you got to put something together.
And he showed us that. And at the same time that he cost us the entire first half of that game, in that fourth quarter, he finally said, "Look, at some point in time, and this is what I mean by we had a lack of talented assholes on this team. And by talented asshole, I mean that I'm so talented that no matter what this game plan is, if whatever's happening out on this field, I got to make an adjustment. I can do that. And damn what you saying, coach. I'm going to have to be an asshole. We had a Ray Lewis, a Bernard Pollard, an Ed Reed, Anquan Bolden. These were our talented assholes, and they got all shipped out. So maybe we finally got some people who are not just yes men, who are not a bunch of B pluses. Maybe we finally got us an A minus on our team that can actually lead something and can make a play that's not schemed out.
Well, Jimmy Smith.
Goddamn right, Jimmy.
Jimmy Smith.
Let him know, Jimmy.
Let spectators know that he thought they were making a mistake.
Disrespectful.
Being disrespectful.
Fair weather ass fans.
He said, "I'm standing." This is a quote from Jimmy Smith.
I know
of
James.
the Baltimore
call
Ravens.
James. This is James.
I call him James.
Grown ass man.
He said, "I'm standing there." And they were just like chanting Flacco's name. I love Flacco. I love Flacco. But Jackson got us here.
Goddamn right, he got you.
So for the fact that you're a fair weather fan, that quickly, when things go rough, you turn your back on him, that just got under my skin a little bit, says Jimmy Smith.
Loyal son of a bitch.
So I just went to let them and told them, like, yo, you either ride or die or get out of here.
Damn, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm sick of you.
Now, I agree with that. There were a lot of people. So where I watched the game at, I didn't even call you because I had a feeling this was going to be a rough game. I said, we can't do no broadcast. We can't do nothing. I'm so glad we was done.
Broke some damn equipment in there.
Oh, my God.
That's what happened. With a live spot with broken equipment.
We watched the game at City View.
Oh, you watched City View?
Yes.
Okay.
And
what was the climate in City View?
I didn't like it. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so it was packed. We had a good seat, but the TV was up too high.
Oh, okay.
So that means you're looking like this.
The whole time?
And then the TVs is in front of the windows. And it was sunny than a mug.
Yeah.
So you like.
So it was just like a glare.
You know what I mean? It's a weird glare. But it was nice. It was a nice atmosphere. It was a nice looking atmosphere.
You just.
You know what I'm saying? And the food was good.
Right. Everything's good except for the game.
Except for there was a table full of Steelers fans right behind us, which means they were rooting for the Chargers.
The worst kind of people.
And they were decked out in their Steelers stuff.
I swear that only in Baltimore do people go out with the intention of ruining everybody else's time.
And that's what they were. Every time,
I swear that only happens.
You know how they were.
Like, well, I'm gonna fuck somebody night tonight, shorty.
And when
no wrong nigga say something to me.
Every call, and okay, so let me ask you about this. Let me ask you about this. Do you remember the play where it was initially called a fumble, and we ran it back for the touchdown, so we thought?
Yes, Marlon Humphreys.
What did you think about that call?
Okay, so I feel like on that call that he should have they ruled it correctly.
Oh, wait, they ruled it what? So he was down?
He was down. The ball was down. The ground caused that fumble. So when he came around the corner, Weddle clipped him. He tried to dive and lay out. His arm reached out, and when his arm reached out, his forearm hit the ground first. When his forearm hits the ground, he's already down. He's given up. He's down by contact. When that ball hits the ground causes the fumble. The ball goes out into the end zone, but everything before that is null and void because it did not break the plane, and it wasn't a fumble. It just wasn't.
It looked like a fumble to me.
It looked like a fumble. You think the ball was moving in the air when he was.
He didn't have. To me, he didn't have possession. He didn't. It was wobbly. He had it for a second. And then you know what I mean. But
so what happened? What you got, Conway? What you got, Conway? Go ahead.
Good.
Yeah. Just scream it. Yeah, just scream it. Go ahead.
Just you say it out. It'll pick you up.
It was a fumble.
He started out in his hand.
Oh, and it transferred over, whatever.
Transferred over when he was losing it. He tapped it back into another hand that didn't have a thumb on it. When it hit the ground,
It flew out.
Hit the ground already because it's already coming out. The thumb was the thing that made it bounce into.
Shut out of the way.
It was a fumble. It was just that they didn't want the Ravens there.
Of course, because had they gave us that correctly, we would have won the game.
Probably so.
Because Mr. Reliable probably would have missed that field goal.
Now, and that's the next where I want to go next. And he would have missed the field goal. They were 4th and 1. Why did they not go for it?
Thank you, sir.
Lamar
Because
could have got them 1 yard.
This is why. Okay. John
So you agree with that call?
Yes, I do.
For him to kick 50 yards in the wind.
Why I agree with that call. Because the game at that point was 12-3. It was a defensive struggle, and all that was popping was field goals. And if it's 4th and 1 and this team has been stopping me the entire day, I'm not leaving that situation without guaranteed points. And what is your most surefire way to get points? Justin Tucker.
In theory, that makes sense, but you got to factor in it was a windy day.
But that's coaching, and you feel like you go with the best opportunity and the best situation for the most points on the board. Your question, and the last time you put your quarterback in a situation to get 1 yard, he stuck the ball over the pile and got it knocked out, and it was a fumble.
What about all the other times before that, though?
What other times before that? Every
fourth and one
Lamar Jackson situation is shaky to me because he's not the big strong 6'6" quarterback that Joe Flacco was, where he could just push the pile. Lamar Jackson's quarterback sneaks are way less probable than Joe Flacco's quarterback sneaks, especially from 1 yard.
That's because you know he's going to run to the left on the 4th and 1.
You know who's going to run to the left on the 4th and 1? Lamar Jackson. Yeah, you know where he's going, but Joe, because he can't take that beating like Joe could take that beat. Joe was a monster. Let's please not forget that Joe Flacco was 6.
So now we're rewriting history.
I'm not rewriting history. I'm saying that
Joe was a monster.
Joe, I'm talking about as a physical. I'm talking about a physical.
He might have been a Lego monster.
Physically,
he might have been a marshmallow monster.
Lamar Jackson,
a real monster.
Lamar Jackson is 6'2". That's my other phone.
Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson's like 6'2", 100. Like, we're like comparable. Like, Lamar Jackson ain't got no football body by a long stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
Joe Flacco was 6'6", over 200 pounds. Like, there was a reason that he was put into those situations all the time, and there's a reason that they were always successful with those 4th and 1 situations, and when Lamar Jackson does it, they're not as successful. So you can't do that. You can't bank on a 4th and 1 with Lamar Jackson because it's shaky. He might do some stupid shit like stick the ball over the goal line and get it knocked out. So you go with what the sure thing is, and that's Justin Tucker from 50 yards, and it has been automatic for forever.
Well, today I want to say happy birthday to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, you should.
All right, today is his birthday.
22nd birthday.
22nd birthday. He was 21 years old yesterday.
Youngest starting quarterback ever.
Yes.
In the
playoffs. Ever. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. He did that. All right. So Angela said yes for a few plays they should have brought in Flacco.
For what?
It seems like they had all our recent plays down for sure. They would have not been expecting Flacco at all, which could have possibly pulled us a little sooner. Disagree because they would do the same ass plays.
Disagree because Joe, the 4th and 1 was null and void.
For the 4th and 1?
For the 4th and 1? No. So you're gonna bring in a cold quarterback to take a snap.
Who hasn't won a game
in a clutch situation?
So long. He ain't won a game since
when is Joe
October?
Clutch? When Joe ain't been clutch since Joe was clutch. 8 years ago.
He could have pushed the power for 4th and 1.
If that's the case, for 4th and 1, I'm giving the ball either Gus Edwards or I'm giving it to Buck Allen.
That's what they should have did.
Because you damn sure not giving it to your quarterback. You're damn sure not giving it to your quarterback.
Dixon and Edwards was just getting negative yards.
What happened
Did they even touch the ball?
What happened was that offensive line got exposed. Plain simple, period. Marshall Yonder is washed.
I agree.
James Hurst is trash. His replacement was trash. Orlando Zeus Jr. is questionable. Now, I will give you this. This is a crazy stat that I heard. He didn't allow a sack until that game. Now, he did end up allowing 2 sacks and a sack and a strip that ended the game in the fourth. But Zeus definitely is promising. He definitely came into this thing. I think that he's something for the future. I'm still not sold on Ronnie Stanley. I mean, I know he's been here for a while now, but I don't know. I'm not attached to him. I feel like Sizzle's gone.
Sizzle needs to go.
Bye. See you later. He's old. He's
Yeah.
old. He's old. He's old.
And you're right.
And besides, for nostalgic purposes, when did you hear Terrell Suggs' name called yesterday? That was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday yesterday. When did you hear?
No,
He wasn't running nobody. Sizzle wasn't doing shit.
No.
And
He
I
was
love
watching
Terrell
people run
Suggs.
past him.
I love Terrell Suggs, but he's
so
done.
Harbaugh considered bringing him in, bringing Flacco in yesterday.
But it
He said it was part of the conversation, and we talked about it.
But they ate too much clock up, and it was no
Yeah.
reason to get him in at that time.
But
And-
Lamar is our quarterback going forward, he says. No question about that.
Exactly.
So real quick, breezing through this. Cowboys
Beat the
Seahawks. No game this weekend went the way I thought it was going to go. Cowboys beat the Seahawks.
Uh-huh.
Sierra messed up everything for everybody, as
Goddamn,
usual.
It's always Sierra's fault.
It's Sierra's fault.
We know.
Okay,
We know.
Colts beat the Texans.
Like what?
Did not see that coming.
No, I didn't either. Apparently the Texans were trending down at the end of the regular season. That was an oversight on my behalf. I will say that. It was an oversight.
Yeah, and the heartbreaker, aside from Ravens losing,
that was a real heartbreaker.
is the Eagles limped over to beat the Bears. Did you see that?
I saw the highlights.
Now listen, I'd rather lose the way we lost than to lose like that.
Ooh, yeah. And it hit the field goal. It hit him twice. That's bad. Oh, that hurts.
Field goal heartbreaker.
But I'm saying it was funny. Both of the best defenses, the number 1 and number 2 defenses, lost at home.
How about
playoffs. Baltimore Ravens and Chicago Bears were the best defenses. Both had young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both. So I guess offense wins championships now.
How about that?
Damn sure ain't the defenses, man.
Patriots in search of their 8th straight
AFC
conference championship.
So who they got?
They got the Chargers.
They got the Chargers.
They got the Chargers,
and
so if they win, then you know what I mean. Saints going for their third.
My picks remain intact.
Your picks are intact.
Intact, baby. Going into the next. They all got buys, so nobody really played.
So coming up, that's one way to stay intact.
Right, yeah.
So coming up this weekend, Colts versus the Chiefs. Your pick on this game?
Goddamn Chiefs, you know.
Chiefs. All right.
Chiefs. Chefs.
I'm actually picking the Colts.
You want to go with the hot team? Okay. The Colts are hot. Luck seems to be back.
Yeah.
But I just think that Kansas City Chiefs have way too much firepower.
They were having a losing season before they brought in this coach.
Who was? Andrew Luck?
Colts.
The Colts team?
Yeah.
They fired their coach halfway through the season?
Yeah.
I don't pay any attention to the Indianapolis Colts. You could have told me that Peyton Manning was coaching the Indianapolis Colts, and I would have believed you, Diamond, because I don't pay attention to that team whatsoever.
All right, speaking of teams.
Since Frank Gore got hurt.
Okay. Cowboys and the Rams.
Cowboys and the Rams, I'm going to have to go with the Los Angeles Rams because they are my pick to represent the NFC. No, they are not. Ha. They can go and lose. Cowboys, go ahead and keep the party going.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Eat up, Elliot. Go ahead, eat up your secret element. Go ahead.
So-
yeah.
So you're picking the Cowboys.
Cowboys. Go with the Cowboys.
I'm definitely picking the Rams.
Picking the Rams over there.
Chargers and the Patriots.
Chargers, Patriots. My mind is telling me no. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I agree with that.
Def to Brady.
I agree with that.
I feel like,
Chargers.
this
Chargers.
is
It is.
The Chargers are built the right way to beat the New England Patriots. You got to have a solid defense and a solid running game, and they have both of those. I think the Patriots lose.
Here's a team matchup I did not expect to see.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in the season, I said this team was struggling. We never had to worry about them in the postseason,
They were.
and that's the Eagles.
Yep.
But the Eagles and your pick for the Super Bowl, the Saints,
Fighting Drew Breeses.
who wins this?
Listen, I am one thing. I am loyal. Okay, Diamond, and I am especially loyal to myself. So I'm definitely going to go with the New Orleans Saints here. The Eagles don't belong in the playoffs at all.
They didn't think they was going to be
Yeah,
there.
they should.
The,
They didn't
the
think they were gonna be
Bears,
there.
the Bears should be in this
They
spot.
barely made that.
They're going to get
yeah.
the mess beat out of them.
I feel like the Eagles are happy to be here, and the Saints have something to prove. Might be Drew Brees last year.
Yeah.
I feel like Saints got this one, man. The Eagles are a little bit unproven. Well, actually, they're not unproven. They're actually the most proven team in the playoffs. To be true, they don't as they don't look like the world beaters they were last year. They're struggling. I don't think they got it. I think the New Orleans Saints have this one in the bag, and we're still marching forward towards the Chiefs and Saints in the Super Bowl.
All right, so that's that. And last thing before we get out of here.
Okay.
Your guy, James Harden.
I'm gonna call him my guy.
It's not your
Okay.
guy?
You know what?
Is that
You know what?
Is that a
As I
reach?
say that, I have some James Harden trolleys in my pocket in my coat. So yeah, I guess he is kind of my guy. He's a little bit of my guy.
So everybody's seen his move, the little move that he does.
Step
the little
back.
Step back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I seen it.
And some people get upset about it
It's-
because it looks fun.
It's one of those. It's a move. Okay, so the James Harden step back. Now, if you are watching college basketball or a fan of high school basketball, it's a little different.
Right.
Okay. In the NBA, they have what is called a zero dribble. Okay.
Right.
What a zero dribble means is that you still have another step. You have a step once that ball comes up. So you have the dribble. Whatever happens immediately after that dribble is your zero step.
Right?
Okay. Then you are allotted your two steps,
Right.
which is what James Harden does.
Right.
Catch the ball.
When is the zero step happening?
The zero step is happening immediately after his last dribble. So he'll give you, boom, initial step back. That's when you are jumping because you think he's going up after that. And then he gives you 1-2, which is that second step back that we are calling a travel. It's not a travel. It's an NBA move. And that's just, it's what it is. You can hate, you can debate about it, but
Speaking of hate.
it's different. It's just, it's professional.
Speaking of hate, Steph Curry tried to take a page
No,
out
Steph
of
Curry
his book.
travel, baby.
Okay.
Steph Curry.
He tried to use the patent step.
First of all, Steph,
It didn't go well though.
you're not James. That's it.
Okay.
First of all, play your game. All right. I know. What is it? What do they say? Flattery. I can't remember the goddamn saying right now.
Imitation is the
Yeah,
best
imitation
form
is
of
a form of
flattery.
flattery. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Ah, sis.
Yeah.
Imitation is a form of flattery, but you look stupid, Steph. Don't do that. You ain't got to do that. First of all, it's real questionable when James does it. We just let him do it. It's a James Harden move. It's his patented move.
Okay, so are you giving credence to what he's saying though? Because ultimately, when he attempted the move, he got called for traveling, and then he
Kept doing it.
he backwards put up. He tried to put up a 13, but he really put up a 31.
Yeah, right.
But, but he had it backwards. Yeah. And he basically tried to say after the fact that he's seen it once or twice. He tried it himself. Obviously, they got confused. They knew it was somebody else, so they called it. This is Steph Curry.
Very funny,
So he's
Steph.
basically saying that Harden gets special privilege to travel.
What this is, ladies and gentlemen, is it's A, hating, but B, gamesmanship. Steph Curry knows that this is a potential playoff matchup. Definitely probably a second round or Western Conference Finals again. And he's got to plant that seed now. Got to plant that seed for the officials. Like, well, what do you call it if one person gets a special rule and the other one doesn't? It's unfair. So they're either going to have to. James Harden is already getting in the playoffs. He does not get those same foul calls that he gets during the regular season. So maybe they officiate that step back a little different in the playoffs. Maybe not. There's no more George Crawfords. There are no more star refs. So I don't know if they're going to take that from him, especially with. They wouldn't have a case to start calling that call because he's got all this footage of you guys letting me do it. It's a patented move, baby. Like you can do that on 2K. Like that's who he is.
That's true.
So you can be mad about it. In college, they're going to call it. If your son tries in high school, they're going to call it. You just got to make it to the league if you want to be able to do it. I don't know what else to tell you. Like this, yeah.
So what is it? What is the purpose of it? Is he's setting the shot? He's setting his foot.
Setting up his shot, and it's a change of levels. So if I'm stepping back this way, already that body motion has already got you a high alert.
Right.
So if I'm pumping and I go and I take those extra 2 steps, I've created so much more space that I'm shooting by myself.
Right.
It's a clear and open shot.
Right.
And it's lethal. And it's nothing you can really do about it, especially with how fast his first step is. He's unguardable. And that's why he's scoring the way he is. He is unguardable. Quick story.
This is something he's patented over the years.
Real quick story. There's my point guard from the team I play for now. He was in a 5-on-5 situation, and Gilbert Arenas was there, right?
Oh.
And he got hit with a move that was so nasty that it wasn't shit that he could do about it, right? And they were on the sideline talking about it. He was like, yeah, man, Gil just hit me, went in and out. And his cousin looked at him. He said, yo, that's an $85 million nigga right there. He get paid to do that. It ain't nothing you can do about it. He just spent his whole life perfecting that exact move for this exact situation, and there's nothing you can do about it because good defense is going to get beat by better offense every single time.
That's true.
So why try to contain that? Stars are going to get star calls no matter what. It's always been how it is in the league. James Harden's going to get calls because he knows how to draw fouls. If you don't like it, stop fouling him. Like that. What else are you supposed to do? And if it continues to be successful for him and it continues to win him games, why on God's green earth would he stop? It's encouraged by the league. So what? Steph, you got a million other moves. Don't take his move. For what?
Yeah.
It's petty, and it really is. It's why people don't like the Warriors. You already have enough on your side. You need the refs too, man. It's like dead ass. Like you got Kevin Durant and Boogie Cousins. You got a fresh ass Boogie Cousins coming for the playoff run, man. There's nothing else that you guys need.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself.
We need the refs too.
Yeah. You need to. Yeah. Focus upon self. Okay.
We'll cut the lights off too.
Yeah, man. I don't have a problem with James Harden's move at all,
I don't
man.
either.
Yeah. I feel like it's something special. It's something cool to see in the league.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah. He's found like a loophole in the rules, and with that, he's become a transcendent scorer. There's only people that can be mentioned in the same breath with the run that he's on is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Why hate that? How can you hate great? Like,
don't hate great.
Averaging like 42 points a game. Like, how can you hate that? Tune in. Enjoy this shit.
You watching a run right now.
Exactly. Man, that Golden State Houston Rockets game was. If you don't like that, you don't like basketball, period. If you couldn't get excited about that game, man, then cut the TV off, admit that you're a racist, and go watch college basketball.
Everybody like that. There's no denying.
And that's another dig giveaway. The next time you talk to one of your white friends or somebody that you encounter with at work and ask them about basketball, and if they tell you that they don't really like NBA basketball, they prefer college, they're racist. I swear to God.
We leave it on that note.
It's a racist ass statement. They care about. I like it when they can't see the names on the back of their jerseys, and they're out there playing for free. I love it when they play for free. Damn it.
Play for free. So we'll be back next week.
Blood, sweat, and tears for these niggas.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right, y'all.
Like my blacks on empty stomachs.